Welcome back to another video, everyone. Today I want to show you how the skills of the Frost Giant work and how to counter them. Stick with me to the end to find out how to clear the Frost Giant in the fastest time. To be able to see all the skills of the boss, you can go to Tails. You can do that by pressing C or just clicking on Tails, followed by going to Codex, and then next to Creatures to the section for Behemoths, and you scroll down to the Frost Giant. Here you can see all the skills the boss possesses. First, I need to mention the 3 normal basic attacks that the Frost Giant does to the entire raid. They are the Fury Swing, Shattering Stomp, and the Icebreaker. Those 3 skills are of no concern to you because they barely deal any damage. Next up are the skills that every behemoth has. For the Frost Giant, they are the Primal Strength, which makes him immune to all debuff effects and impairment effects such as Defense Break and Poison. The second one is the Glacial Fissures, which makes him become enraged 8 minutes after entering battle. For some behemoths it's 10 minutes, for others it's just shorter. Now we can take a look at some other special skills that the behemoth has. Implacable. Frost Giant destroys an icicle upon reaching or hitting it. In first phase, you need to watch out for exactly 4 skills, which the boss will use in a specific order. He will start by using Frost Spire, which marks 3 legions. 12 seconds later, an icicle appears under all marked targets, dealing damage to all legions near it and knocking them airborne. This skill is pretty easy to counter because what's not specified here is that as long as there are 3 magic legions in the right, the boss will always focus them. That means you only need to separate your DPS with the magic legions on the left or the right, with the rest of the legions being on the other side. Now the boss will use the next skill, Skull Shaker. Frost Giant swings its mighty arms and deals damage to all enemy legions in a forward rectangle, knocking them airborne. This skill is also easy to manage. You only need a good tank to taunt the boss, but also consider that the tank may lose the aggro because the T5 deals way too much damage. That way you need to consider separating the T5 with the highest damage from the rest of the DPS. Now, the third skill the boss will use will be the Snowball Fight, which is again very easy to counter because as long as you have mages in the right, it will always use this skill on them. And the fourth one, which is very annoying, My Caves, My Rules. After a short charge up, Frost Giant deals damage to all enemy legions in its lair, knocking them airborne. Hide behind an icicle to dodge the damage. Well, it's very hard to actually hide behind the icicles because you can't really control where they will spawn in the layer. besides like positioning your mages so you are able to hide behind them. So most of the time your legions will lose 50% of their HP to this skill. There is not much you can do against it. Usually you want to kill the boss before he reaches the second phase, because at that point there is a high chance your raid may result in a party wipe, simply because the boss in this phase is very hard to beat. Let's go over the skills that make it such a bother. The first one is the Howling Winds. Frost Giant roars with rage, knocking all enemy legions airborne, throwing them to the edge of its lair and generating one frozen area. This is basically the skill with which the boss starts the second phase. Now, why I said that the second phase is so hard, it's because of this skill, Call of the Ancestors. During the second stage, Frost Giant takes 100% less damage. Now, this is not exactly the end of the world, but combined with the next skill, Snow Boulder, it makes the Frost Giant very fearsome. So, Frost Giant marks an enemy legion outside a frozen area. Moments later, it rolls a snowball toward the marked target, dealing damage to all legions in the snowball path. Now, he completely kills everything. It's a 100% true damage. You have no way to counter this besides hiding the icicles or walls. So it's really hard. Now, it's not exactly the end of the world, because here frost mana stones will be produced within frozen areas when the second stage starts. Gather them to gain a bonus. Now, bonus legion attack plus 50% for 30 seconds. And each gather mana stone reduces the Frost Giant Call of the Ancestor effect by 10%. Each legion can only gather one mana stone, which is really nice. And by the end of the second stage, the layer will produce healing mana stone. When gathered, it heals a legion lightly wounded units. You can also check my other video where we kill the Frost Giant Elite in under 2 minutes. It may give you additional help when it comes to beating this boss. Thank you for watching. If you want more content of this type, like and subscribe.